Welcome to Inside America, your #1 premier TV program that showcases businesses in the U.S. and Canada. My name is Seun, and I'm the host for the show. With me today is Marianne Simpson, owner of Lenox Cupcakes, and we are live at Lenox Cupcakes. Hello, Marianne. Introduce yourself.
Hi, Seun. My name is Marianne Simpson. I'm the owner and founder of Lenox Cupcakes here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We're so honored to have you, and thank you for opening up your space for us. We're just going to go ahead and delve right in. So, cupcakes. Cupcakes.
I know, right?
Like, how do you just wake up one morning and say, I want to make cupcakes? I mean, we all make cupcakes, but you know what I mean.
Right. To be fair, I started as a kid baking and then for a long time stopped. And then when I got pregnant with my son, I started developing cravings for cake. You know,
wow.
Pregnancy comes with different kinds of cravings.
It does.
For some people, it's pickles. For me, it was cake. And I figured I couldn't eat a whole cake, so I started baking cupcakes. And from there, I just kind of got deep into the world of cupcakes. It was a hobby, then it became a side gig, and then now my full-time business.
Wow, so from craving to a full-time business with multiple locations, may I add.
Thank you.
What are some of the challenges that you faced when you started the business, when you thought, first you're like, okay, now I'm craving this, now I'm gonna start making it, and now I'm gonna make it an actual business.
Right.
What were some of the challenges that you faced?
So, started in 2008, and if you remember, the economy at the time wasn't a good time to start a business.
No.
So luckily, it was a home-based business, you know, selling to companies first. And companies at the time, they could afford to pay for this premium product that I had.
Right.
And as a result, I was able to stay in business. I was able to start and sustain my business from home first.
Okay.
And then slowly grew into a physical location.
Wow, so you started baking for companies. So did you approach them, or did they just word of mouth?
The internet. So the thing was, I set up a website. I think at the time it was $17 to start the website.
Wow. Not anymore.
I know, right? It was. I think it was $12. It was $1 a month.
Okay.
So $12 a year, and then I paid an extra $5 for spam, so I wouldn't get spam emails. Like $17. And the first person to order from my website is a company here in Atlanta called Cox Communications.
Oh, I'm familiar with that.
Thank you. So Cox ordered for a birthday party that they were having, and they ordered 60 cupcakes. And I remember thinking, my goodness, this is an actual business. I forwarded that email to all my sisters. I was just on the phone with them before we started. I forwarded that email. I was like, this is a real business. My website is working. And so that was the first. And then CNN, and then Coca-Cola, Wells Fargo, other Atlanta-based businesses. They didn't care that I didn't have a location. All they needed was cupcakes to their businesses at a specific time, and I could deliver that without them even knowing that this was someone that's baking from her home at the time. So yeah, that's how. Yeah,
it's interesting to just see the journey and how it's come and how it's come along. What makes you stand out? Because there's cupcakes everywhere. There's cupcakes at Publix, Kroger, you name it. What makes Lenox Cupcakes? Lenox Cupcakes stand out?
So to start with, our ingredients. We have always believed in using the best ingredients. So, for instance, not a lot of companies still use like the finest Belgian chocolate. We use Belgian chocolate, period.
Oh,
when I started, very bougie. So, from the time I started at home to now, we're using Belgian chocolate. We're using Madagascar bourbon, vanilla. Like, our ingredients are premium.
Okay.
And then we've grown over time to actually expand other areas of our business.
Okay.
So not only are we making cupcakes, we're also making cakes, we're making bars. So if as a business you're looking for a company to provide you cupcakes, we have cupcakes, but we also have a wide range of desserts.
Wow.
And we also do birthday parties at our location. We offer cupcake decorating parties. We offer cake decorating parties. So in addition to actually selling products, we offer experiences as well. So that's really what differentiates us.
That's definitely different, because I don't know many cupcake shops that offer those experiences. So that's nice that you do. Now let's talk about product development. How do you come up with your flavors, your designs? Like what inspires that?
Okay, disclaimer, I'm not a designer.
Okay.
I'm more about flavor. I
Okay.
really, really take flavor seriously.
Yes.
So in terms of flavor, when I go to the farmer's market and I see like a whole bunch of lemons, fresh lemons, I'm already thinking, what can I do with this lemon? And that's kind of how the process flows. Like we have like several different lemon varieties of cupcakes. So lemon with blueberries, lemon with strawberry, lemon with cherries. So, you know, just seeing the product in its raw form is very inspiring, and it helps me think about things I could do with the product. And then to be just out and about, like going around, like I might even smell a candle and smell the flavors, or have tea somewhere and be inspired by tea, like Earl Grey. Earl Grey can be a cupcake flavor. You know, stuff like that is
sounds yummy.
I'd like to try that. I know. Lavender Earl Grey is really good. Yeah.
That sounds very delicious. So let's talk about your customer base.
Yes.
How have they influenced the direction of your business? Because I know that you said, you know, you smell the different flavors and then you get inspired. But what if the customers don't like it? Yeah,
so we try to cater to every kind of customer. So when we started off as a business to business company, we would think, when the cupcakes go out to a company, who are we serving?
Yes.
What kind of people will there be? So you'll have your vanilla people. Okay. You'll have your people that are willing, that like chocolate, like me. You'll have people that want to experiment a little bit. So we have basic flavors, but then we also serve people that are looking for something beyond just the ordinary. So we try to appeal to as many different palettes as possible, but we also always make sure, like, you're gonna come in here, we're gonna have vanilla, we're gonna have red velvet, but we're also gonna have something a little bit different for people that are more adventurous.
Okay, and I just wanted to talk about growth strategies. How have you been able to grow your business?
Yeah, so we focus on product innovation because people get bored with the same thing all the time. We're focusing on experiences.
Okay.
You know, something that's going to draw people, because people get tired of sitting at home. They want to do something with their kids. They want to do something with their girlfriends. So we offer experiences. But then we also make sure that regardless of how people come to us, the way we treat them as customers, their customer experience is really second to none. We focus on those three things, and we make sure we keep doing that. And over time, we found that year over year, we're growing as a business.
I love that. And, you know, that's always a good thing. You mentioned about experiences, and you touched on that earlier. So I definitely agree that we are in a visual time where people want to see and feel things.
Exactly.
So definitely creating those experiences in addition to the delicious cupcakes that they get to munch on while they're having those experiences. So thank you so much for that. So now let's talk about building your brand.
Yes.
Because, I mean, anyone in Atlanta, everyone in Georgia, I mean, Atlanta especially, know Lenox Cupcake. What steps have you taken to build the brand Lenox Cupcakes? Because I know it's a household name, at least in my household. So what steps have you taken to build the brand, both online and offline?
So honestly, it has been a process that grew organically. So starting out, you know, doing markets in the Atlanta area. So no matter what it is, people would call us for events, we would be there. So that no matter what part of town people were in, they were aware of us as a business. And we make sure that wherever we are, whatever community we are in, people know us. So we get to know people in the community by donating to schools, participating in community events, being part of the local presence, governments. So basically, here in Chambly, we make sure that when they have meetings, we're attending so that people know about us. Like when they're making plans to develop the city, we're there. So that people, you know, so that they know that we're here to stay in the community. So we've built the brand like really organically.
That's nice. You know, definitely making that presence known, especially within your local Chambly community and beyond. So now, adapting to change, how has your business adapted to changes in the consumer preferences or economic conditions? Like, we had the pandemic, which definitely wiped out a lot of businesses, but you stood strong.
So prior to the pandemic, we, if you see how we're located, we had a window in the back of our building to make it easy for people to access us. So during the pandemic, everybody was locked, but we were operating from our window. So we've made change. We structured ourselves in such a way that we would continue to operate as a business. So people can't come to us during the pandemic. We're delivering. So we know who our core customers are. Businesses, and so we tailor our products to suit them. Our business hours reflect that. People are like, well, you're not open until 9. Businesses are not open until 9. We're here to service our core customers who are businesses.
Yes.
And then we also service the broader community.
Wow. So you were able to stand the test of time even with everything going on.
Yeah. So there was a lot that we couldn't do, but we made sure that we were able to still function as a business. Like I said, operating the cupcake window in the back because people couldn't come into our business, and making sure that we delivered. People weren't coming outside, but we delivered to their doors and we took off.
And, you know, a lot of people were home, so I'm sure that the orders definitely skyrocketed, because I know I was craving a lot of sugar
really did.
from just sitting home all day.
I know. At that time, it was like, I mean, we took off, we closed for 2 weeks, and we were like, listen, we can still make this work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people got their money back, asked for refunds for events that we had already booked, which was a bummer. But then we made up for it by making sure that hustle with deliveries, we were doing it. So we just made it happen during the pandemic.
And speaking of refunds, like how was that? Like
it was crazy. Everybody asked for their refund. Like we had events booked, and they were like, look, it looks like something is about to happen.
And people were
this
just
wedding
like,
is going to be canceled. That's going to happen. The only one couple said, we think you need this money, keep it. And I was like, thank you, we actually do.
That was so nice of them.
It was really sweet of them. And then so what we ended up doing, they had a small wedding. We were during the pandemic, and then they had a baby shower. We gave them back their money by catering their baby shower, because it was like, we're so sweet.
Wow, that was very nice. That was really sweet.
It was very sweet. It was very sweet.
So let's talk about like advice, because I would say that I'm scared of like starting a business, and I know that a lot of viewers at home are also having that fear.
Yeah.
What advice, like, I don't know, walk me through, like, what advice do you have for anybody that's just trying to start off, just like you, starting off in your, home kitchen to opening, multiple locations in Georgia? Like, tell us about that.
So I would say that the barriers to entry are low, very low now, more so than when I started. So when I started, I wasn't really supposed to do it from my kitchen. Now you can get licensed in your own kitchen. I had to go and rent a kitchen, which is eventually how I got licensed. But now you can really start from your kitchen. So if you have a desire to do something in the food space, there's nothing stopping you. Get licensed in your own kitchen. You don't have to leave your kitchen.
Right.
Do all the things that you need to, and start small. Try it out with your neighbors, your coworkers. Grow it that way. There's nothing really stopping you. And I would say if you really have a burning desire, you owe it to yourself to at least try.
Right. Okay, so definitely start small. Don't have a passion and then just go open a big bakery.
No. Start small. Like, test it out. Because I remember when I was testing out, I didn't have my recipes right. It was through trial and error that I got it running. So try it out, and don't get discouraged. Some people will like it, some people won't like it.
Right.
But keep going, because if it's within you, you should do it.
Absolutely. And now I want to talk about future plans.
Yes.
What are the future goals for Lenox Cupcakes? Like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah. So I do see us expanding still. I see us getting our operations smoother.
Okay.
I see us doing more in the space of experiences. So we want to do a lot more events. Because we find that people derive so much joy coming here with their girlfriends, coming here with the kids, and having like those special moments. And we want to build on that. So we started something last year with Santa, decorating cupcake with kids, and I want to start doing things like that, make that a yearly tradition. So build more on experiences and see where that takes us.
Yes, and I definitely agree. Like I said, the world is visual, so I definitely agree with building on experiences and things. And speaking of experiences, our team was able to catch up with the Lenox Cupcakes team, and they were able to see what a day in the life of a baker is like, or a bakery is like. So check this out. cupcakes look, first of all, they look absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
How do you not get tempted to just stuff your mouth? I mean, look at how good you look.
Oh, thank you.
I would be like 500 pounds if I worked here.
When you're baking, people don't realize we're lifting 50 pounds of sugar. We owe it to ourselves to eat those cupcakes. So there's a lot of work. We're on our feet. I have never, like when I come in here, I'm like, I try to see how many steps. It's at least 20,000 steps when you're walking in because you're going back and forth, doing all kinds of. So yeah, we deserve those cupcakes.
So you are definitely allowed to indulge in those yummy treats.
Definitely.
Wow, you know, that was very interesting, just seeing what the behind the scene is like. So what would you say is your best? I personally know what it is because that's my favorite.
Okay.
But what is your best-selling item? Like, what's your signature?
Yeah, so we cannot not have red velvet.
I was going to say that.
Like, people get upset when we don't have red velvet.
Yes.
So red velvet is our signature flavor.
Yes, I have to agree. Like, I've been to the bakery many times, and I know that I come straight for the red velvet. So you better check it out if you're, stopping by Lenox Cupcakes. Now, let's talk about ingredients. I know you talked about the Belgian chocolate and those exotic bougie-sounding ingredients that you mentioned. Where do you source them?
Good. So I found this distributor, and we've been with them. Believe me, the address that they have is from when I was baking at home. So I've always used them to tell you that the address they have on file is my old address.
Oh, wow.
So it is it's called Gourmet Foods Atlanta.
Okay.
And hello, don't go and steal it.
I know, right?
But yeah,
they're taking notes.
Yeah, Gourmet Foods International. So they've always delivered. They have the best products.
Right.
And I will tell you something. When I started my brick and mortar, I went and looked for someone that had been in the business a long time. And he told me, never go down on your quality. He said, things that people are going to tempt you with cheaper products, but never go down on your quality. So whether things are hard, things are just make sure you maintain that quality. And we've always used them as our suppliers. Till tomorrow, we're going to always use them. I mean, if they go out of business, we know the brands, but they're the suppliers that we use, and we've always used them.
You know, I have to say, when you talked about the quality, yes, I totally agree, because whatever you taste at Lenox Cupcakes, it's consistent.
Thank you.
And I've been a Lenox Cupcake shopper for a very long time, and it's the same flavor, the same great taste over and over again, and I love it.
Thank you.
So I definitely agree with what you're saying. Now, I want to talk about customization.
Yes.
Do you offer custom cakes? Like, say somebody's getting married and they want like a custom wedding cake. Some people want a ship, a boat, a car.
Right.
You know, do you offer those types of cakes?
So starting out, when we were brand new, we didn't know who we were. We would do that, and we would be up until 3 a.m. trying to figure out how to make that cake. But we realized that we're not that business. There are custom shops, and we're not a custom shops. We want to do certain things and do it well and do quantity versus having to just do one custom. And so we've decided that as a business, that's not the direction we want to go in. So that's kind of where we are with the customs, because people talk to us all day long.
Yes.
And every time, trust me, every time I bend and take a custom order, I'm like,
why did I do this?
Why did I do it? I know I'm not a custom. It's like asking someone who's a wedding dress, who's not a wedding dress designer to make a wedding dress. It's not going to be easy for that person, or that's not their area of specialty. So we try to stick to what we're good at, and that's like developing interesting flavors, being consistent. If someone asks us downtown to deliver 4,000 cupcakes, before the end of today, we'll do that.
Wow.
Yes.
How efficient.
We've done that before. That's why I use that as an example. So those are the types of things that we're known for. If you ask us to do a high volume, we'll do that for you, and we'll do it consistently. It'll be good. From the first one to the last would be good. Yeah.
I like that, because that sounds like something that should fall under advice for upcoming business owners, is to stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to do it because everybody thinks it's cool. Like, everybody's making, these custom wedding cakes, and so you start doing it, but it's not being true to the brand.
Yeah.
So I like that, you're staying true to your brand and what works for you.
Absolutely.
You know your area of specialty, and you know your strengths. So that's good. So now my next question is about our health-conscious people, because they're going to come for us.
Yes,
And I know that Lenox Cupcakes, just because I'm a customer, I know that you offer vegan, gluten-free. So let's talk about that.
So people's preferences, starting out, that wasn't something we did. But then over time, like I said, we'll have corporate clients, and they're like, we have a section of our office. They don't eat this, they don't eat that. Is that something you can do? And so we started to offer those products. And so now we're really good at vegan products, products that are vegan only, gluten-free only, and products that are both vegan and gluten-free. So just because people are out there, they need to experience products as well. We've decided that we'll open it up and we'll work on flavors that can work with those for those preferences. So yeah, we do that.
That's good, and that's for anybody who wants to check out Lenox Cupcakes. Know that they do have those healthier options for different people's palates. Now I want to talk about seasonal because you talked about Christmas earlier. How do you incorporate seasonal trends into your menu? So like it's Halloween. Is there some Halloween cupcake flavor? Oh yeah. Tell us about that.
So with each season comes flavors. Fall, people are going to be looking for pumpkin. They're going to be looking for spice cake and things like that. So we want to make sure that, and that also helps us keep our menu interesting. We can't have the same flavors year round. So we always make sure that we leave room for a few seasonal flavors. Okay. And that's something that people look forward to. We're not going to have pumpkin in the summer. Okay. Some people want pumpkin all year round, but it is specific to the fall. Right. And so that's something that people look forward to because they know that once a year we're going to have pumpkin, or once a year around Christmas we're going to have peppermint, things like that. Something different. Yeah. So it keeps it fresh and interesting for our customers. I'm
not gonna lie, this is making me hungry. Like I can smell the cupcakes, I can taste it. Like this is all making me hungry. So I'm definitely gonna come check out that peppermint flavor.
Absolutely.
So now let's talk about daily operations. Yes. So you come into the bakery in the morning, you open the door. Yes. Can you walk us through what a typical day is like?
Good. So I'll tell you a before and after story. So there was a time in the history of Lenox Cupcakes that we would come at 3 in the morning.
What?
Right? I promise you. Like
3 a.m.
People will ask us, how early do you get here? We wouldn't tell them because, we're mostly ladies and just to be safe.
Yes, of course.
But over time, we've realized that, working smarter, not harder. So we prep the day before. Okay. So we're chopping things the day before. We're doing things that we can. And that way, when we come in, we're putting everything together. So we'll bake it fresh, in the morning. But we've already prepped. We've already separated our eggs. So when we come in the morning, we're baking, we're frosting, and then we're opening our doors. And I tell you that the experience of my staff is a lot different, like now than before. I feel like people hated their jobs before. Now they're happy to come to work.
At least they don't have to be here at 3 a.m.
Exactly.
Sure.
So a day in the life is coming in, getting started with the baking, not super stressed because we've prepped the night before, serving our customers on a positive note. We don't open until 10, so by 10 o'clock, we're ready. The music is going. Nice. We serve our customers until 3 o'clock, and we're out.
Wow.
Yes.
Short days.
I'm telling you, but the thing is, I realize over time who our customers are and who my staff is. I have mostly women. They want to go and pick up their children from school. They want to be at birthday parties. And so it's a win-win
work-life balance.
Work-life balance.
I love that.
I know. Thank you.
I love now I want to apply.
I know. We've come a long way from days when we were open until 9 p.m.
Right.
And now we've just decided, you know what, we'll just work smarter, not harder. And then just make it a fun place for everybody that's here.
Totally. I love that. I love that. Now that you've walked us through the daily operations, how long does it take to bake and decorate cupcakes? Like you talked about, 4,000 cupcakes? Like that is wild.
No.
Like how long does it take to decorate those?
So the cupcakes take about 20 minutes to bake. Then they have to sit and be cooled before they're frosted. So I would say, give us an hour. Like if we're out of something, we're out of red velvet, for instance, and someone comes in, where's your red velvet? No red velvet. We'll just say, give us an hour, and then we'll have red velvet for you.
Wow, that quickly?
It takes, yes, because we've got everything down. From baking 20 minutes, letting it cool, making the frosting. Really, it'll be ready before 1 hour, but we'll just sell them 1 hour.
Yes, yes. Wow, that is amazing, and that is so efficient. Sounds like you have it down to a science.
We do.
Now, so we talked about the baking process. Now, you also touched on your team, right? How important is teamwork in running the bakery? Because it looks like it's a lot of moving parts.
It is a lot of moving parts, and we really rely on our team, heavily to do the work because it is very physical. So, a happy team makes the dream work.
It does.
Yes, the team is everything. Keep them inspired, get their feedback on what's working, what's not working, make sure they're part of the process. some of our menu, or a lot of our menu, has been inspired by our team. You know, they'll come and say, why don't we try this? Why don't we do this? And then, you know, and that makes everybody happy.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know, definitely teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
So I love that. Now, I want to talk about scaling.
Yes.
How have you managed production as the demand for your cupcakes obviously has grown?
Yes.
I mean, everybody talks about Lenox Cupcakes.
Yes.
I talk about Lenox Cupcakes. How have you been able to manage that?
Yeah, just making sure that we have the right equipment, we have the right suppliers. You know, we are constantly, because we bake a fresh product, we're constantly getting supplies.
Right.
So we have the suppliers that we work with. We have processes in place. We have our equipment to make the work easy for us.
Yes.
And that's really how we scale, just by making sure that we can produce a small amount, like a small menu,
right,
but then large quantities.
Larger quantities.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I want to talk about memorable moments, because we did talk about sharing experiences. Tell me about a memorable moment that, you know, a customer that you left a lasting impression on. Like, just tell me about, I know there got to be one story.
That I left a lasting impression on?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Or it's too many.
I mean, it's hard to choose. It's hard to choose. I'll tell you, they actually have a picture, and I have a picture of them on the wall. Two sisters, elderly sisters. They will stop in here all the time.
Oh, that is so heartwarming.
All the time, all the time. Every week they'll stop. They're sisters. They will bicker. Their picture, I would love for you to take a look at the picture. We'll display the picture. Anyway, they'll come in here, bicker. You take this. I mean, sisters. And then after some time, I didn't see them for the longest time. And then one of them shows up, and her head was shaved. Oh, no. She had had cancer. And, you know, for me, some customers really become like family.
Of course,
and
over time.
And for me, it was like, I saw her, and I just bust out crying, because that's why I haven't seen you, because you've been going through treatment. So sometimes you see people every day. You become a part of their daily lives.
Yes.
I called them. I called their children. What's happening? Where's Miss Peggy? You know, and they didn't want to tell me. And when she came, and then she just took her hat off, and she was like, she knew, and we both knew why she hadn't come. So yeah, there's customers that come, and they kind of become family. Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's about. It's creating those experiences for them, and just having them become part of you, and you become part of their journey.
Yeah.
Wow. It's been such an awesome pleasure hearing about cupcakes, hearing about cakes, hearing about what you do, Marianne. You know, you are in the heart of Chambly, and I think you know, this bakery, I think it holds a very important point in Chambly. And so, you know, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Do you have any sign-out words, any lasting words?
No, I just want to say another word of encouragement for anyone that, especially thinking about getting into the food space, do it, because people that are in the food business, we have a passion for it. There's a reason why you're called to that. It is because you like to make people happy. So you owe it to yourself to definitely, you know, capitalize on that dream, on that vision, and see it through. And like I said, the barriers to a food business is really low. You can start from your home kitchen, and really with the internet, just expand. So I just want to just a word of encouragement for anyone who wants to enter that space.
I love that. Well, there you have it, viewers at home. You heard from the cupcake queen herself. Thank you so much for joining us, Marianne. It was a pleasure having you. And to our viewers at home, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Inside America. Remember, it's your #1 premier TV program that showcases businesses in U.S. and Canada. My name is Seun, and it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you.